Well, my friends, my predictions regarding the situation in the Middle East have come true again. As you remember, after the Israeli attack on the Iranian Consulate in Damascus, which killed several employees of the Iranian diplomatic mission, including 2 high-ranking generals of the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, I stated that Tehran would respond to this attack by significantly increasing support for its proxies in Yemen, Lebanon, and the Gaza Strip. Moreover, I also stated that as an indicative flogging, Iran could launch a missile attack on strategically important Israeli facilities. At the same time, as I said earlier, Iran will do everything possible to avoid dragging Tehran into a real open war against Israel. And, as time has shown, all my predictions have come true again. My friends, you must understand that yesterday's missile attack on Israel is a continuation of the events that began in the Middle East on October 7 last year. And judging by what we are seeing now, it becomes clear that the supporters of a multipolar world are following a strictly planned plan, achieving all their goals. At the moment, the real disintegration of the unipolar world with its globalist world order is taking place before our eyes. The fact is that the arrival of a multipolar world requires the resolution of all hotspots on the planet, including the Middle East. At the moment, representatives of the multipolar world are trying to reformat the map of the Middle East, finally destroying the system of government created by the globalists, well known as divide and rule. For many decades, globalists have created hundreds of hotspots all over the planet, hindering the development of the countries of the global south, thereby maintaining their influence and power around the world. However, after 2014, thanks to the competent actions of the anti-globalists led by Vladimir Putin, the unipolar world with its globalist system of rule rapidly began to collapse, trying to drag humanity into World War III. As I said earlier, representatives of the multipolar world operate in the Middle East according to a strict plan, which is divided into several stages. The first stage is to involve Israel in grueling battles in the Gaza Strip, in order to discredit the Jewish state in front of the whole world and weaken its economy. The second stage is the launch of missile attacks on Israeli territory by Yemen's Houthis and the blocking of the Red Sea, in order to provoke the United States and its so-called Western allies. And finally, the third stage is to significantly strengthen Hezbollah, in order to open a second front against Israel and draw the globalists from Washington and London into a grueling war against Iranian proxy forces in the Middle East, which will inevitably lead to the end of the existence of the Israeli state in its current form. And judging by what is happening, supporters of a multipolar world are gradually achieving all their goals. Meanwhile, the United States, rapidly losing its authority and strength, is forced to spend huge financial and military resources on supporting Israel. The fact is that Washington has no other choice, since the existence of a Jewish state is possible only in a unipolar world, in the so-called unipolar system of world order. However, with each passing month and year, it becomes more difficult for the United States to support Israel. There is no doubt that the globalists in Washington are well aware of the trap they have fallen into. And that is why they are trying in every possible way to involve Iran in an open war, with the aim of mass destabilization of the situation around the world. However, Moscow, Beijing, and Tehran are well aware that time is playing on their side, and that no acts of provocation of globalists will delay the complete destruction of the unipolar world. My friends, I hope you now understand why the Russian Foreign Ministry has officially denounced Western countries for not condemning Israel for the destruction of the Iranian Consulate in Damascus. I hope now you understand why Moscow officially supported Iran, saying that Tehran has every right to self-defense.